Hello class, welcome to week 2. I want to take a couple of minutes and just walk you through some of the different activities of the week. Before we do that, let's reflect a little bit on week 1. So week 1 basically was getting acclimated to the course structure and completing your attendance activities. The majority of you have uploaded your signed syllabus. You've all participated in the discussion board introductions. I hope that you've taken a few minutes to look at the responses from your classmates, and then I've also participated in those. I actually quite enjoyed reading those because it's so interesting to me to get to know who's in this class together, especially because you guys are going to be broken into small groups this week and you're going to be participating with one another, so it really helps to kind of form that relationship. And even though it's online, we are a learning community, and we can have bonds with each other and learn each other, even in this virtual format. So I hope that you were able to have an opportunity to go back and look at some of those introductory discussion board replies. So that was your second task. And then the syllabus quiz. Just a few notes on the syllabus quiz. Dr. Brown, who's the head of the Accomplished Teaching program, she develops most of, or she's a primary developer for most of these courses, and thus you probably saw her name in that course quiz. I didn't go through and replace my name with it, but I know that there's a few questions that are a little hinky. I always just give 100 for that syllabus quiz once you've completed it. So if you've taken that syllabus quiz, then you will have noticed by now that you all received 100, and the majority of you have done that. So the 3 tasks for this week was the syllabus acknowledgement, which was due Friday. The introductory discussion board replies are due tonight. So a few of you still have a couple of replies to post. Those are due tonight. And then the course syllabus quiz. And then tomorrow starts week 2. So I want to just take a few minutes to dig into week 2 and discuss some of the activities that are coming up this week. And we'll start with the overview. So in the week overview, if you remember that I mentioned how important these week overviews are, it really sets you up for success so that you can see what's coming up for the week. So it tells you essentially what you're going to be doing, including watching this video. It's embedded there for you. There's 2 readings that's mentioned in that first paragraph. The module objectives, but don't stop there. Keep reading when you look at this week overview. It also breaks down your things to do. So it breaks down the readings. There's a link even here for your actual document upload. So you could link here, and then that takes you to the Dropbox. There's a note that speaks about the class being divided up into small discussion board groups. If you've, and most of you again have, if you've already uploaded your syllabus acknowledgement that was due on Friday, you should have already received an email that puts you into your small group for discussion boards. And then the directions for assignment 1. And then there's references that models for you APA style. So I just want to go back up and hit on a couple of things. First of all, the example here, the student example, when you click, you get this. So obviously you need to make sure that this is your own writing, but you can see how the weekly assignment is set up. So key things here is APA style with your running head. You can put your name here, or you can do a cover page, and then you have your different headers. You'll notice the page numbers, and then also one thing that I found a lot of people lose at least 1 point for on the majority of assignments is that spacing. So Word defaults to give you an extra space. You'll notice it does not exist here. When you write in a Word document, if you highlight in between sentences and you go to your paragraph spacing in Word, and you click, it'll say remove space or add space. You should always remove the extra spaces. So there's 2 areas for you to do that. So play around with Word and make sure that you do not have the extra space there when you write. And then you'll notice that there's the different headers set up. You'll see that this is 8 pages. That includes the references, and you'll see that they're here. Now, this is a little bit more in depth maybe than some of your weekly assignments. I would say most weekly assignments run at least 3 pages for sure. Pay attention to the instructions for each weekly assignment where it gives you the specifics, and then you might not have a whole page of references for every weekly assignment. But essentially this is modeling for you APA style and how you would turn in those weekly assignments. So that, if not anything else, if you just want to double check what yours looks like compared to this, that will help you with your gain the most points possible, especially when it comes down to APA. So we'll go back here, and then I want to touch on the discussion board briefly. So your discussion board says, how has your understanding of curriculum changed as you've become an educator, and what has influenced these changes? So the one thing that I've noticed that some people have done in this discussion board is they just jump right into what the book definition is of curriculum. And you'll notice that that's really not the intent of this question. The intent is that you describe to us, you share your story in what curriculum is to you as far as in when you first became an educator, and then the things that have influenced those changes along the way. So make sure that you don't just regurgitate back to us the book definitions of curriculum. This is truly an opportunity for you to share those stories. And then you'll see there's 3 reply posts that are due by day 7. I say that because please be sure that you post your initial post on time, because if you do not post your initial post, you really hold up your classmates in being able to fulfill their requirements and posting their replies. Right now, there's a couple of people pending and not assigned to groups because they have not completed their syllabus acknowledgement yet. But without those folks, right now we have 6 people in each group. So that should give you plenty of folks to reply to. So this weekly overview, I hope you see now how valuable that will be. And then one final note. So again, here's your week 2. All your discussion boards are here. Okay, before I go to the final note, because that's something in the syllabus I want to show you, I just saw the due dates and I wanted to mention. So it's really hard because discussion boards actually have 2 due dates. You have the one for your initial, and then you have your replies due date. So what I've done, and unless this doesn't work out, I'll keep this format, is I put the due date is when your initial is due, and then the discussion board ends when all your replies should be turned in. Late work, you guys are all educators, but you also have full-time jobs, the majority of you, and lives. And so I do understand that sometimes you'll need flexibility, but discussion boards are really hard to give late work for discussion boards. I mean, if you posted your initial reply late, maybe there's some room for leniency there, but there's really not a whole lot of room for leniency on the rest of it because we've gone on to the next week and there's no more interactivity once that discussion board ends. So what I've done for this one, and we'll just see if this works out for the due dates, is the due date is the initial post and it ends when your replies are due. So just remember that that ending date is when your second due date is, and that's for the replies. But the last thing I wanted to just mention again was the course syllabus. So if you go back to the course homepage, hopefully you've all printed out the syllabus or you have a file for your this course and you have your syllabus downloaded. I'm just going to go back to the original open announcement. Just please do remember that this syllabus has tons of information, especially the rubrics for each assignment. So when you get ready to work on your discussion board post and you get ready to work on your weekly assignments, just remember at the top of each rubric, it'll say, for example, this is grades for week 1 and then 14 and 15 discussion board. So you could, if you type your discussion board up before you post it, I always type mine in Word and then I post it into the discussion board. If you go into this, you will see that there's a rubric for each discussion board. So you have this one, then you go down, you see the grades for week 10 discussion board, and then for the weekly assignments. Here's the criteria. So that was just my final reminder to you. Please make sure that you review your rubric. A few moving parts here, but it's all set up so that it will help you earn as many points as possible, and I'm sure that you will. So the heart of this week is the heart of the topic, kind of the essence, should I say, is just looking at curriculum. What is it? What does it mean to you? What has it meant to you in the past? I will be honest with you, as a new educator, I don't think I really fully understood as a new teacher years ago, really what curriculum was. My definition, my understanding evolved greatly. So looking forward to kind of hearing and sharing in those experiences with you. Please remember not to be, embarrassed by saying that maybe you felt like you were wrong in the beginning and now you have come to greater understanding. Or if you have colleagues that maybe do not have a full understanding, but you think that you've progressed, or whatever the situation is, this is a safe space for you to share those thoughts and understandings. And that's really the essence of this week. So I'm going to sign off. We're at right over 11 minutes, so not too bad. Hope this has helped you have a grasp on what we're going to be doing this week. And I will definitely be participating in your discussion board posts, so looking forward to seeing what you guys have to share. All right, have a great day. Have a good Sunday afternoon.